Hello, welcome to this very special Watch What Crappens, a bonus episode. We are Ben and Ronnie. I'm Ronnie, that's Ben, and we're going to do some coverage of Love Island because you know what? It's addictive, and that's just what we're going to do. So we figured we'd try it out. It's only on for the next couple of weeks, so we figured we would join up a few times a week and do like 10-minute recaps that would kind of equal one bonus, and then we'll release them all as a main feed episode for people. But all the Patreon members will get this firsthand, etc., etc., and we hope you guys like it. Okay, Ben, how do you feel?
I am so delighted that after all these years, you finally got the Love Island bug. I don't know if that's how you felt when, after all those years, I finally got into Game of Thrones, but this is sort of like it's now come full circle. I feel like this is like I feel like for both of us, we've now both dipped into each other's like big shows and come out the other side. And I don't know if you fully embraced Love Island yet, but I think you're on the path.
I love it.
Last night, okay, so. This was your first movie night, Ronnie. I'm so glad you got to enjoy movie night. Normally, movie night happens like a week and a half after Casa, or a week. They usually let all the drama from Casa sort of settle down. And once everyone thinks it's like, it's safe to go in the water again, here comes movie night to stir things up again. But America, USA, maybe it's on a compressed timeline because it's a shorter series in UK. They got right into movie night. And like, what did you think? How was your first movie night, Ronnie? And it's going to continue on Thursday.
Enjoyed it. I didn't understand the villainizing the girls and making the men look like fucking
Thank you.
whiny little heroes. What's that about? Is this produced by Bravo? Because this is very Summer House coded. I was like, why are the girls being villainized? I mean, especially my girl, who I love, Leah. You know, I love Leah. She talks like that.
Seriously, shut the fuck up.
I really like her, and I like that she's like, that guy's a fucking pussy crying on the ground, and you're the one crying when I'm the victim, and I'm like not having that. I'm sorry, but I'm with her. She's getting dumped, and Overalls is sitting there crying, and we have to feel sorry for Overalls because he's dumping her, and he actually cares about her feelings. If he cared about her feelings, he wouldn't be dumping her. I mean, I know that this is a show where you have to pick. Like, eventually, you're going to pick one thing and dump the other thing. You know, not thing. I'm thinking of it as in food. Like, you're going to pick one kind of food, and then you're not going to have the other kind of food. But then I started thinking about Golden Corral, where you just pick all the foods, and so it didn't work in my head. But anyway, on this show, you're supposed to pick one person and dump the other person. I get that, but still, like, she has a right to go off if she's being hurt. And then I took it personally because I was like, well, when I get my feelings hurt, I lash out and I say horrible things that I might regret later, especially if it's on camera. And I don't want to be villainized for it. Speaking behind people's back is my right as an American. I pay taxes.
I'm bursting at the seams here because I agree with everything. That whole situation, when it happened, I was furious because Rob, he's done this whole storybook romance with Leah, and he's told her that she has nothing to worry about. He's just going to have a conversation with Andrea. And then all of a sudden he just basically, it's the equivalent of ghosting someone in this house, which is that like you spend all day talking to the other person. So Leah's like, what the hell? She goes to talk to him, be like, what? Like, you're making me feel crazy, whatever. And he pulls this whole card of, you're not asking me how I feel. Do you know how hard it is? I know I have to hurt one of you, and you're two amazing women. I have to hurt one of you, and you're not asking how I feel. It's like, yeah, but you're hurting the person. And so the fact that like he is still playing that at movie night, he's still saying that is so obnoxious. And then she has to actually apologize for like, she is the one who gets humiliated by him. She is the one who gets hurt by him, and she goes to her girlfriends and just wants to vent, and just she's going to say whatever, and they're going to be there to support her, and she has to apologize for saying that stuff. Absolutely not. That was the moment that I 100% turned on Rob, and he had a moment to redeem himself at movie night, and instead he just leaned into it again and made her feel bad.
Well, not only him, but all of America, is like giving her shit about it, because that was in the tweet from the tweet night when they were like, oh, fuck her. And, a man can't have feelings and cry, and to say, to emasculate a man. Oh, give me a fucking break.
It was fake
okay.
Tears.
The guy was crying when he was dumping her and hurting her feelings after playing a fucking mind trick on her. So fuck that guy. And also the girlfriends, because all the girls sat there and heard her say it and laughed and thought it was really funny until she got called out on it. Not one person said she's allowed to vent. Her feelings were hurt. How do you think she felt when you were out there parading some other girl and blah, 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 and ignoring her? None of the girls stood up for her. I really didn't like that. I'm sure
But
maybe she's got, and I also didn't like Miguel being like, well, I've seen some crazy women,
oh, I
but I've
hate
sure
that.
I've never been with a woman who talks like that. Oh, really? What are you fucking running for governor? I'm so sure you need a wife with like a perfect floral dress and pearls. Get the fuck out of here. You're on Love Island, sir. Let's stop
But yeah,
pretending that you're like the top of the class, the top of the class here.
well,
You're like on the sluttiest show on TV. Get over
the other thing
yourself.
is Miguel's like, oh, the women object never had a mouth like that. I'm like, you just haven't seen it because maybe you haven't seen the way that they've talked after you've probably, fuckboyed them, off to oblivion.
You've
The
probably
other
never kept someone around long enough to hear them talk like that. You've only got them in the stage where they're pretending to be nice to charm
Yeah.
you.
Well, I will say this, by the way, during that scene. So now Rob is coming down on Leah or whatever, and Aaron of all people gets really feisty about it, and he starts really coming at Leah, and he's angry, and he's impassioned, and he's mad, and I was so glad that Serena said this because I literally turned to Dom and I said the same thing. And a heartbeat later, Serena said it, which is like, you're getting more defensive about Rob than you ever did about Kaylor. Like
Of
Aaron shows
course.
so much more energy for Rob, defending Rob's honor. He cares so much more about Rob. He sheds tears for Rob, and he does not shed tears for Kaylor. And he does not get impassioned like this to express himself to his love for Kaylor, which, by the way, that was the other thing that was such bullshit this episode. Sort of rewinding to the top of the episode. Kaylor, of course, is going off about this comment about like want to take a shower. She's doing the whole thing like, I spent 2 weeks saying like you want to take a shower and I finally did. And then it's like one day and you take a shower with her. So he finally just goes, this is hard for me because I love you. There, I had to say it. I love you. And of course, at that moment, she's like, oh, all is forgiven. And I was like,
She's literally an idiot. And here's the problem. She can vote. You know what I mean? And I feel like people really need to take that into consideration when they look around at the fucking ashes of this country. This is what we're coming to. People like this have a say in things, you know? I mean, this guy is not the brightest, but he's obviously pretty smart because let me tell you what this guy's doing for love. Aaron, you've got this guy who's in love with Rob. That is his main love. We all know it. Even if it's not a gay thing, the only chemistry I see on this show is Rob and Aaron. There, I said it. Okay, they're in love. I'm rooting for them. I mean, already I've pictured them in my head. Like they're so cute. I think they're really cute together. I hope they end up together. I hope it's like a shock ending where they end up together. And I'm sorry, Aaron is doing whatever he can to stay on the show to be with Rob, and Rob is doing whatever he can to keep Aaron on the show to stay with Rob. Like they love each other. And I think it's so sweet. And so I'm looking at this whole Kaylor thing. Kaylor's obnoxious. I tried to like Kaylor. I don't think she's a bad person. I'm not a hater,
she's just
but just
young and
shut the fuck
immature.
up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been friends with this girl 20 times in my life. And let me tell you who asked you nothing about you. Her. This girl will never ask you a thing about
Not a
yourself.
thing.
All she'll do is call you and complain and cry and sob
Yep.
and then ignore you the second that she's back with the guy.
Yep.
And then the second she has a problem,
Yep.
go back to him. And then if you say like, hey, guess what? I came down with pneumonia. She'd hang up on you. Literally, she is not going to talk to you about it. Like this girl is terrible. I have no more time for this girl. So I'm actually rooting for Aaron and being mean to this girl because he's in love with Rob. And I think that's a sweet love story. So that's where I stand on Kaylor. Shut up, Kaylor. Shut up.
This entire rant, all I've been thinking about is how you started it about like she can vote, like the ashes of this country. And I started to think to myself, what if Kaylor were our president? And it's actually kind of funny if you think about it. Like imagine her like doing a State of the Union. Guys, if we don't pass more fiscally responsible policies, it's fucked. This country is fucked. It's like I try so hard as a president, and you just do that. You do that. It's like it's so hard, guys.
She'd be like, guys, I just talked to North Korea, and for the first time ever, we have a peace agreement. Wait a minute, they set off a rocket? How could you do that? You totally told me you were going to set off any rockets. Why would you do that to me? You just embarrassed me, like, literally in front of everyone. Like, Putin is laughing at me.
My approval ratings are like down like right now. It's like it's not my fault. It's like I'm trying to put my heart out there and like trying to like lead this country and like there's people around me. It's just like it's hard. Like it's like I just don't understand why.
So she's we open with them still fighting about the shower. Like, did he say he wants to take a shower with this girl or whatever? And he's like, I can't remember everything. I mean, it's not like but It's not Wikipedia.
I know. Wikipedia. That was
So many stupid lines in this. Okay, so they're stupid. We'll get to them in the movie night thing in a minute. Let's move to Janae and Kenny, because Janae, you're my favorite. You're still my favorite. Although Liv is coming in second because I really love Liv's sociopathy. I find it so relatable. But
I think Serena,
Janae.
to me, Serena, Janae, and Liv are like my top tier.
Serena's on my nerves. I'm not going to lie. Although she did kind of come to her senses a little bit today and got the ick, which I liked. But she's nearing Kayla territory for me with her crying over this person she doesn't even care about. But just for now, Janae, this segment where she was talking to Kenny when they were checking in. Do you remember that you were just sobbing the last episode about this man? Now this is her. She's like. So she's talking in a baby voice. She's like, I just want you to know that, like, I've liked you the best out of all the guys that have dumped me while I'm here. You've been like the best guy that's dumped me. And, you know, he goes, I need you. Because he's like so dumb too, but he's like, I need you. She goes, yeah, you need me because I'm going to cook your eggs and I'm going to fold your clothes. And I can even build couches if you want to. It's like, you can build couches. Please stop it right now. I'm mortified watching you. You are too gorgeous for this. You're going to build couches for this man? Get a hold of yourself. He hasn't even made a sentence.
Well, I was just surprised when she goes, you know what? Like when you brought back Catherine, I was pissed. But now today, I'm proud of you. I'm like, Janae, stop that.
Janae, have some self-respect.
But I get it, though.
I was so embarrassed watching her because I'm rooting for her. And I actually, like, legitimately love her. But I'm just like, no, you need to fucking stop this right now. And then he goes, yeah, like when I wasn't with you. When I wasn't with you? Because he, like, is the male Leah. He talks just like Leah. He's like, you know what? Because when I wasn't with you, I still felt you. Like your water bottle. What does that mean?
I need you. Yeah,
I still felt you like your water bottle. Did anybody else catch that? Because wow.
I mean, look what his option was. I mean, this girl he brought back, Catherine, she seems very nice, but she sits there like with sort of like this look on her face. She literally looks like a bird that was startled by a noise. Like she just looks at the camera, sort of like cross-eyed, or her face is sort of screwed like to the side. She's like, oh. And I can't imagine. I think he was like, I feel like maybe I should bring her back as like, it's like maybe what I should be doing because that's what everyone's doing. But he's probably like very quickly was like, what was I even thinking? This is ridiculous. I miss Janae.
Yeah. Okay, so then we have the fake I love you from Aaron just so he could stay in, which totally works, like you said. And then we go to Cordell and Serena. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Okay, so all of this Cordell and Serena stuff is so funny to watch because she just slowly starts getting more and more grossed out by him as the episode goes on. And I just loved it.
You think she's getting more grossed out? I think that she's just more like, she's just like, okay, she's coming to like terms. She's like chilling out. She's like not as mad. I mean, if anyone's getting more grossed out, it's Dea. Dea is the one who's just like, you know what? Fuck all this. I don't want to be put on the side.
Well, I think after she talks to Dea, she's grossed out because I think Dea spoke some sense and she spoke some sense to Serena, and Serena was like, oh, well, then why am I going for this guy? Because basically what happens is Cordell, you know, it's the same old. Cordell keeps saying he's sorry and Serena keeps saying, yeah, but you weren't sorry. You know, you hurt my feelings and you continue to hurt my feelings. And like, you have like zero respect is what you've got. You've got like zero respect. And so then he, you know, talks in his monotone. It's mostly that. Well, then Dea's like, fuck this. Why am I fighting for this little person? You know?
He's like, ignoring her.
I'm hot.
Well, he's also fully ignoring her, you know, and she's made to feel like just some side option, and she doesn't want to feel like that. And she's like, I like this guy, and not only is he not paying any attention to me, I'm now getting humiliated on TV because people are now they're saying like I just, you know, was all in OBJ's, you know, comments on Instagram, and so now she just knows she's being torn apart out in the public, and she's like, I don't want to stand for this anymore. I'm going to break up with him. And so they go and they sit down, and he's like, First of all, they wake up in the morning. He goes, "Oh, I gotta talk to you today." Don't say that when you wake up, because she knows what that means. And it's like, what's the point of saying that if you're not going to do it right now, right?
So is that why she was like, well, I'm going to break up with him first. There is no way he's going to break up with me. And if he thinks he's going to break up with me, that is not going to happen. And she's like trying to make eggs or something. He's like, can we talk? It's like, yeah, I need to talk to you. Because, well, I need to talk to you. She's like, no. Not before I talk to you. He's like, oh no, I'm going to talk to you first. And so then they sit and talk. And he's like, I'm going to talk. She's like, no, I'm going to talk. This is so funny. And then he tries to break up with her. And she's like, how dare you?
Yeah,
I'm breaking up with you. You said.
yeah, she breaks up with him. She sort of gives him like she sort of reads him down. But then later on, Cordell goes up to Serena and goes, yeah, I just broke up with Dea. And Serena gives him this look like, I know what happened. Because Dea then immediately went up to Serena and was like, yeah, I basically told him like, I'm not going to be an option. I'm not going to waste the time. You're like a mature little boy and whatever, you can have him. Good luck to you guys, you know? So when he then tells Serena that he broke up with Dea, the look on Serena's face, like I just love that. Like sometimes she will have an expression on her face that I think is priceless.
Well, this is when she got the ick, I think, because before this, Day had gone up to her and she's like, look here, because I like how the girls are like bonding over the guys, even if they're dating the same guy. They're like, let's talk about him, you know? And so she talks to Serena and she's telling him, this guy's full of shit if he thinks he's going to string me along. Like, I get that he likes you and that's great, but he brought me back and told me that he wants to hang out with me, but he's not hanging out with me. He's ignoring me to hang out with you and like use me as some kind of a pawn to get you to like him more, which is fucking weird. And I'm not here for this. I'm too hot for this. So fuck that guy. I'm breaking. And she's saying this right to Serena. And I think that that's when Serena, I saw like a little light there where she was like, oh, why are we fighting for this guy? Like, you know, like seeing someone so gorgeous, really liking this guy and coming back with him made me think maybe I was missing something. Maybe I didn't see something in this guy. But now that I see that, no, she didn't see anything after all. Like she sees what a little piece of shit he is. Like maybe he is a piece of shit, you know?
Yeah. I'm sure the next bombshell they bring in will definitely be catered towards Serena, by the way. Like after this, now that like Serena and Cordell, the whole situation is starting to like sort of cool down. I think that's what's going to happen next. Although we still have the second half of movie night. And I think the second, so far, Cordell really, they showed some stuff of him, but the real bad Cordell stuff really has not, like they haven't aired that yet. And honestly, I thought that Kendall got off pretty lightly. Like his movie night moment was bad and it showed that he was egging on everyone, but I felt like he didn't get the rage thrown at him by everyone that he deserved. Maybe that's to come because maybe they've got still like more movies. Like maybe it'll happen after movie night is over. But
Well, I
like
don't
he
think
got off
so because he's a
scot-free.
guy and they just all nod and accept it. Like, of course he did that. And for those of you who don't know, basically, the movie night is when they show clips to get everybody in trouble, and we see what they, you know, everybody sees what they did, you know,
All
away
season
from
long.
them or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, what they've been doing all season, what they've been really thinking. And so this one was him being on the side of Cordell and being like, "Oh, you're going to make out with this new girl? You're going to bring this new girl back? Good." You know, basically like fuck Serena. He doesn't say that, but he's basically like, "I love this girl so much better for you and I'm so happy for you. And why the fuck shouldn't you do that?" And then Serena's like, "Well, thanks. I thought you were my friend," you know.
It's time for a commercial. It's time for a Crappens commercial.
So he looks bad, but and they looked kind of mortified at him, but I think it's just there's not much shock there because it's like, you know, bros before, you know, girl
Hose.
woes.
I'll say it. Hose. Bros before hose. Yeah, I want Kendall to get his comeuppance, but other than that, I think that was the gist of it. Really seemed to be about Aaron, and it was weird to me that the cliffhanger of the episode was Leah. You know, like what happened? You know, like Leah having to apologize. I just feel like that should not have been the last note that we should have ended off on. Is like, oh, look at Leah. I think that the note that we should have ended off on was Aaron and Aaron being an asshole. And it looks like
Well, I think
tonight's
they
episode-
love Rob. I mean, Rob is the cutest, I think.
Yeah.
Rob seems to be like the cutest, basically. I think everyone's voted him the cutest, and so we're supposed to all care what Rob thinks the most, even though we all know Rob's not going to find real love on the show. He's kind of a sociopath like Liv. I think he's Liv coded. I think him and Liv should be together, and then I think they should murder people together because they've both got that like detachment. You can see it in their eyes. They're alive, but there's human emotion that's missing there. And I really like that for them. I think it's so romantic.
They were starting to spark things off right before Casa Amor. Because remember, Liv did choose Rob when she came into the villa, and then he went back to Leah. And so then after his latest girl was kicked out, Cassidy, he started to approach Liv. And so they started to talk again, but then Casa Amor happened. So there is like something there, but I don't know. I want Liv to find someone because she's once again friend zoned by, what did she call that guy's? What did she call that guy's teeth? She said something about his
horse teeth.
Horse teeth.
Oh my God. So yeah, that one was so Kane, the guy that she's dating, basically went up to Selena. What's her name? Sierra. The other hot girl with too much makeup. And he was like, hey, I'm not really into her, so I'm into you. I really like you. She goes, oh my God, you're hot and I'm hot. We should like totally get married. He's like, yeah, we should. So they got off. And then so she went and she was like, oh, by the way, Liv, he came up to me and like told me all this stuff. And so we're together now. And Liv's like, well, I'd rather hear it from someone pretty than a man with horse teeth or something.
Yeah, exactly. She's like, I mean, I'm just like a mean girl that no one wants to date anymore. So I hate that Liv feels bad because she's hot, and the audience loves her. And this was so mean of the producers to make her think that actually the audience hates her, because I think that she's like one of the fan favorites. But anyway, tonight is going to be, or actually it's going to be tomorrow night is going to be movie night part 2. It looks like Aaron is going to get more shit. And he's going to throw a hissy fit. And he's going to throw his mic into the trees.
He's gonna quit. So funny. But I was cracking up because of course it ends, with them. Fucking Kayla and Aaron. Always. They're making me crazy, this couple. But it ended with next on Love Island. Aaron, how could you, Aaron? Like, how could you? It's like, oh my God. It's like literally every episode is that girl just sobbing. I started laughing so hard because in my mind I was like, next week, Aaron, and then it really happened. I started cracking up. Welcome back to Love Island, Friday, July 12th. Mini recap catch up. Ben, how's our relationship doing?
I don't know, because yesterday I was we were so good, and now it's I don't even know what to believe anymore. It's
it's just something I wanted to do then. It was something I wanted to do at the time, so I did it at the time.
You say these things, and then I have to want you with her. It's
but I wanted it at the time, though. But it's what I wanted at the time, so why should I apologize? Because I wanted it at the time.
I have no more emotions left to give off, except for the next 50 minutes of emotions.
So, yeah, when she said, I have no more emotions to give, while she was sobbing. This show,
and then continued to sob for the rest of the episode.
Literally sobbed the rest of the show. So, something so weird happened to me the other day. It was 2 days ago. And the sun was going down. And I was, it was the end of a day. It was a good day and everything. And I was curling up and I was so sad. I was so depressed. It was so weird. And I was drumming my fingers. And I realized something was missing from my life. And it was Love Island. And I don't know when that happened to me that I really would give a shit about this fucking insipid show. But it did. I missed it. I didn't like that it wasn't on Wednesday. And I was so happy to have it back last night. And I don't know what's happening to me, but I guess I'm just going to go with it.
Yeah, well, the surprise twist on Love Island is that it's actually not as insipid as you would think. It feels and looks and presents incredibly insipid, but the truth is that the real appeal of the show is kind of what I think Lib said at some point last night, which is that it's sort of about the friendships more than it is about the love, and there's something actually really sweet and adorable about all these friendships that are formed. And there's nothing insipid about friendship, right? I don't think.
This show's stupid as fuck, but I really like it. And I was missing it the other day when it was gone. And then when it was back last night, I really liked it. And I was really into all the songs and everything and how they matched
music is great.
And it started with
Who's watching? Who's watching? I always feel like somebody's watching me.
They
It's
always
like a
have-
ballad of
yeah.
that.
Everything sounds like a cover by Evanescence. It's so good. The music on this show, every summer is when I get all my new music for the year because my Shazam is out. I'm capturing everything, but they always do these super serious. I don't know how you describe it. It's like not emo, but it's like impassioned arena rock ballad versions of like pop songs. It'll be like, "Hey, I just met you, and this is crazy, bum bum. But here's my number, bum 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 bum. Call me maybe, bum 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 bum."
Yeah, it's like Dumb Slut Cabaret, which I really like. I'm really into it. So we're back at movie night for this episode. That movie night continues, and some of these questions, like what the first one was, how long does a boy orgasm for? And just listening to these people discuss how long that would be was so fucking funny, and I think it really brought me to that question too. I was like, how long does it take? I mean, I don't know. It feels like 2 seconds, but then when you think about it, it's like, does it take 5 minutes? Like I literally couldn't even tell you.
Yeah, I think there's like a range. I think there's a range of urgency. I think there are a lot of factors.
Yeah, like when do you start counting? Do you start counting
when
when
does
you're
it start?
about to? Do you start counting when it actually happens? Do you start when you're actually covered? And I mean, like, how does it? I didn't know when to start counting. I need better rules, and I guess these are just things that I've never discussed with anyone before,
Yeah,
including my
that's a
doctor.
Well, your doctor would probably be like, "I don't want to talk about this with you right now. It's not a medical issue. It's just more of a judgment call." So yeah, I don't even listen to the questions they have to do because no one cares about like the sexy questions they have to answer. It's like we just want to get to the movies. I just want them to strip out that whole thing entirely. But yeah, so one of the things, let's see, the movies were really bad for Aaron because, you know, they showed more of what he did in Casa Amor. And it showed that it wasn't just like, oh, he kissed Daniela and it was a test and he realized he wasn't into her. And the shower comment was not just like, oh, after a challenge, him saying, oh, we should take a shower, ha ha ha. We saw that there was like lots of kissing, and the shower comment was made to be like, we should go to the shower.
Literally just gets worse and worse for this guy. And every lie he tells, then they went up it with another clip. It's like, well, all we did was joke about taking a shower. And it's like, I want to fuck you and impregnate you in the shower. Well, then all we did was, you know, maybe get a little wet. I dropped a nuclear bomb on China while we were in the shower. I was like, oh my God. Like literally everything he says is 5 million times worse by the time they get to it. And just watching Kayla's stupid face.
Because Kayla's trying to
more
be
and more.
She's trying to be self-possessed. At first, she's like, "Oh, I already know, so like he already told me everything, so it's like not new news." So at first, she's like, "Whatever," but then eventually, it's like it's undeniable. And like when he brings Daniela into the shower for the challenge and makes out with her, but then when that portion's done, he goes back and kisses her some more. It's like, and he's like, "It was in a challenge. It was in a challenge." It's like, no, your portion of the challenge was over at that point. That was voluntary, Aaron.
And then it's like, and then we burned a small village, you know? It's like, oh my God. I'm like, I was thinking about you the entire time where you were burning villagers. Like, it just gets worse and worse. And then he decides to just start fighting because I guess, because the same shit comes up over and over. I mean, I can get how it gets annoying, you know? But at the same time, you did it all. So you're not really in the place where you get to be annoyed that it keeps getting brought up when you're the one who did it. And you didn't only do it once, you just kept doing it and it got worse and worse.
We're not relitigating here. There's new evidence that has been brought forward, and she is devastated. And he's This is the part in the trial where, you know, Jennifer Tilly walks into the courthouse and says, "I have something to say," and she's wearing a wide brim hat. There's new evidence happening. The case is unfurling. He can't be upset at Kaylor for having to see this, but he is, and he's really surly about it. And he keeps on saying, "Well, I did what I wanted. I did what I wanted in that moment, and I did it in my moment. I don't have to apologize. What is that supposed to mean? You did what you wanted. Like, you don't get a prize because you do what you want. You get a prize because you actually have some self-restraint in life, okay? Because if we all did what we want, we'd live in anarchy. That's what anarchy basically means. So you don't get any special prizes or any special rewards, and certainly no special consideration because you followed your penis the moment that Kaylor's crying eyes were out of sight.
Yeah, but then again, we're watching this just knowing that Kaylor's going to sob and then immediately go back to him and be like, "Oh my God, but I love him." So it's really getting harder and harder for me, and I'm not victim blaming or anything like that. I'm not blaming the victim. It's Aaron blaming. I'm not saying that, but you are the person who keeps jumping back into that fire. So,
I'm blaming her parents.
Move away from the
damage
stove.
To her.
You know what I mean?
I think, but what it really pissed me off that Aaron was not really contrite because you see, also, what's his face? Cordell gets it bad too, and he just hides under a pillow. He watches Serena crying on the floor. He hides under a pillow and he's humble about it. And his instinct is to say, I feel so bad. I feel bad that she has to watch it. Aaron's instinct is to say, I did nothing wrong. I already told her, you're out to get me. It looks worse than it was. It was out of context. And then when all that doesn't work, he just decides to do what Rob. He tries to follow his true love, Rob, and so he gets up from the couch and walks off and throws his mic into the fake bushes.
Yeah, and Rob follows and rubs his shoulders, and Rob's like, "Bro, what I have to tell you is what she said to you. It's valid, because girls have feelings, and they're valid." And if you ever want to get your dick wet again, you just say valid over and over again.
Yeah.
So just keep saying that until they forgive you. It works every single time. This fucking manipulative fuck. And by the way, I am so shallow that I believe literally everything Rob says. It isn't until 15 minutes later where I'm like, wait a minute. Yeah. I've just been manipulated, because he's just so cute. And he has such a
the nose.
Leave It to Beaver nose, the brother, the cute brother,
Wally.
How he has that cute, Wally. How old am I that I'm saying that?
Nose.
But he just has this cute nose from the 50s. He's just so cute. I believe everything he says. And then I'm like, wait a minute, I've just been manipulated. And I really do think he's one of those guys who's just learned to be just say her feelings are valid so we can go back to sucking each other's dick, when no one's looking, and we'll never get in trouble again. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I actually think in this case, Rob was correct. He basically was listen, you have to understand, she has to sit there and watch that. And that hurts. That sucks for her.
He was correct. So I just think that he doesn't really believe it. I think that he's using that language because he's learned to manipulate with that language because he's a fuckboy. So he knows the language to use, and he's trying to help Rob. He's giving Rob a crutch.
Yeah.
And not Rob, Aaron. He's giving Aaron a crutch of this manipulative language to use. But I don't believe that Rob really believes it. I just believe that he's learned to manipulate.
He would never apply it to himself.
Right.
And I actually believe he enjoys kicking people politely when they're down, right? I think he kind of enjoys being you fucked up. He likes being that person. And I have some stuff to say about Rob, but I also want to say...
He also likes being the person who... He's getting points with the women in the audience by saying, you need to pay attention to women's feelings, even though he's stomping on them left and right and then acting like the victim. You know what I mean? So it's just all manipulation. Don't believe this fucking guy just because he's hot, even though I kind of do, and I would totally vote for him if he was running right now.
A few more things I have to say about Aaron before we move on to really getting into Rob, because I have a lot of things to say about Rob. But two things. I was livid, and I'm going to say that was a pun, live, L-I-V -id, at Aaron when Kaylor is sobbing, and Liv actually starts defending Kaylor. And is like, what did you do? What were you thinking about? You were not even thinking about her feelings at that time. And he's like, shut the fuck up. Why are you speaking for Kayla? Why are you speaking for Kayla? I'm like, excuse me, sir. Were you not the one just a day ago when we rolled the clip of Leah cursing out Rob when she was hurt? Weren't you the one who piped up viciously and angrily in defense of Rob? But now suddenly Liv can't be in defense of Kayla. Shut the fuck up, Aaron.
Yeah, because Liv is always there to remind the guys of what pieces of shit they are when the girls are ready to forgive them. So, of course, he doesn't like that,
Yeah, exactly. Now, the other thing, I've been meaning to mention this. I keep forgetting. Here's the biggest red flag with Aaron. The way he brushes his teeth. Have you noticed?
Oh my God, I
his
wrote that down
foamy
too.
His foamy ass mouth.
It's just like he looks like a dead fish. Like his mouth isn't even. I don't know how his mouth is even hinged together. I don't even know what he's brushing. Is he brushing his teeth? Is he brushing his gum?
brushing
Like
his
what is he
chin?
doing? I don't.
Why does
I
he
don't
look like
understand
Santa
the
Claus?
motions that he's making in his mouth. He's just like dead eyed, just like he's just like kind of flopping the toothbrush around in his mouth. Like what's happening there?
It's bubbling out down his chin. It's like falling on the floor. Do you not know? Like, you are not 4 years old anymore. Do you not know how to brush your teeth and keep the foam on the inside? Like, what is wrong with you, sir? Like, this is the biggest red flag of all.
Just the slack jawed, the dead eyes, the flopping around of the toothbrush in the mouth. I'm not really sure what's going on with this person.
You're a deckhand. You're a deckhand. You should know how to keep things tidy. At least have a chamois nearby for your chin.
So now another thing that happens while they're watching this is that Rob sees that Daniela liked Aaron more than he thought she did. And because, you know, God forbid, he's not the only fucking person in the world.
Thank you.
This fucking guy. It's like,
Thank you.
oh, she's disgusting now because she's been with somebody besides me. You know what I mean? And this is so typical. He's not the first guy to ever be like this. But like totally recognize that it's gross. And now he's going to like kind of slut shame her because he wasn't the only one. And he's like, well, you know, I really thought she said that she really wanted me the whole time, which made me like her. But now I see that that's not true. How many people have you liked while you're in here? What are you going to shame her for? Give me a fucking break.
His whole thing, first of all, it drove me nuts that his whole thing of showing emotion is that he takes off his jacket and then puts it back on. He'll take off his jacket like, I'm emotional. I'm going to tie it around my waist. And then he comes back.
But that is not his only emotion move. And how dare you accuse my flawed but beautiful husband of that. He also has a move where he shows off both of his armpits at the same time.
Oh yeah, he loves that. He goes back. It goes all the way back. Oh my God, it drives me nuts. He also
and I
does this
love
thing.
his like tiny bit of armpit hair, his like little faux hawks of armpit hair. He's so cute
with his sing-songy voice, and he also does this thing when he walks around sometimes where he sticks both of his hands in the front of his pants and then sort of walks like left and right, kind of like he's like a 13-year-old pretending he's a big kid. It's really weird, you know?
Or like he's just used to wearing overalls and that's it, because that's where overall pockets are. I used to wear overalls in Brooklyn. When I lived in Brooklyn, that was like my thing.
And you take your jacket on an awful lot to show that you were going through something.
Well, overalls would hide. They would come up so high that they would kind of hide my love handle. So if I wore a tighter shirt, I would look like I had a V. And so I was obsessed. I wore overalls literally everywhere. But anyway, yeah.
Okay, so Rob, here's what drove me nuts. I'm glad we got those things out of the way because that was actually top of mind. But I really didn't like that he sits down Daniela and says like, her turn was so fast, it made him feel like she wasn't being sincere. Says the guy who was threatening to leave the villa over Andrea, and then a day later is flirting again with Leah, and a day after that is with Cassidy, and then like a day after that is talking to Lip, and a day after that is making out with a girl. She didn't even make it into the villa, but at Casa Amor, and then is now with Daniela. This guy has so many turns. He might as well be a Rotary in Europe. He has so many turns. He might as well be a dreidel at Hanukkah. How many turns does he have?
Commercials. Here comes one right now.
Well, he makes her cry because he's like, I can't believe that you don't only love me or whatever, and like kind of slut shames her, so she starts crying.
Even though he went, I'm sorry. Even though he sat there on the daybeds and watched her make out with Aaron, and all of a sudden he's surprised. Where were his eyeballs? And where, by the way, is this when he's so concerned about sincerity? Where was his scrutiny of his best friend Aaron during all this?
Well, I think that was the real thing because I think the real relationship is Aaron and Rob, and I think that Rob really saw that Aaron and Daniela were closer, and he got mad at Aaron, and so he was more upset with Aaron, but he can't tell Aaron that, so he's taking it out on Daniela.
And I don't think he actually ever had an interest in Daniela, but I think he had an interest in causing shit in the villa, which is why he brought her back.
And also, he wanted to stay on the show, Like, a guy like him can't just be single. Like, one thing I really like about Liv is she has no problem. She doesn't care. She's just like, I'm single, who cares? And it's a show where you're supposed to be desperate to find love or whatever. And Rob is trying to be too cool, but I don't think Rob's ever been in a situation where he's not like the center of attention. And I think it really bothers him to not be the only option, or to be the best option.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. It's like, it's privilege, but, it's not his fault he's so cute.
He is really hot. Like, he's really, really hot. But he drives me
guys, we
nuts.
need to feel for him. It's really hard having that much privilege. It's a lot of responsibility. Okay.
You know who feels a lot of empathy for Rob right now is Janae. And when she sat down with Kenny and said, you know what, like, no one's thinking about, like, how hard it is for Rob to see the girl that he's, like, coupled up with kissing Aaron. I'm like, no, Rob does not get any sort of sympathy for that. Because, again, he knew the entire time that Daniela and Aaron were making out in Casamore. He saw half of it. He was there at the challenge when they made out in the shower. He was there when they made out on the lawn on the beanbags or whatever. So I don't think Rob gets any sort of grace or sympathy from anyone for the situation with Daniela.
What Rob's doing really well is emoting. He's sitting there with little doe eyes, and he's not moving his eyes. And it's like they said, Rob sits there dead-eyed, and it makes everybody think that he's got all these feelings. Everybody's able to project feelings onto him. And I think that that's what's happening. They're like, look how sad Rob is, when Rob is just like literally staring off into space. They're like, oh my God, look at Rob coming up with song lyrics in his head. And meanwhile, they're playing like Patti LuPone in the background. I was getting used to being someone you love now.
And then Rob, fresh off of complaining that Daniela had too swift of a turn and it just spoke of insincerity, then Leah goes up and apologizes to Rob because Janae hypes her up and says, you guys would be great together. You guys would be great together. He still really likes you. So Leah goes and apologizes for the things that she said, even though she said it because she was reacting to the fact that he himself made a quick out of nowhere turn from Leah to Andrea. And that was so, I felt like it was just so unjust. And he never said, and you know what, I'm sorry because that must have hurt too because you were into me and then I just pivoted away. He never apologizes to her.
Yeah, he never apologizes, but he does do the thing where he's like, I do accept it because, like, it's not really a big deal now because, like, we all make mistakes and, like, you saw your mistake. And so, like, maybe now you can, like, be better because, like, now you made a mistake, but, like, it's, like, over now because, like, I have, like, really big eyes and they're, like, kind of watery. What do you think about that? She's like, I look like the lady from House of the Dragon. She's like crying. And then,
yeah, that was funny what you put up. That she does look.
Doesn't she look like that?
Allison.
It's been bothering me who she looks like, and finally it hit me, and I was like, oh my God, that's why I feel for her so much. I'm like, it's not your fault. You're on the wrong team. So she's crying, and then he goes, sorry for onioning you, and that's. Yeah. I thought that was very funny because, he's not only bringing up something from the tweets, but it shows like how affected he is by other opinions. And he acts like he's so blasé about everything, but he's not, he's like, sorry, I'm onioning you, I guess. And she goes, no, your onion like never worked on me in the first place. And he's like, okay. She goes, yeah, you were already peeled.
I don't know. She shed a lot of tears for someone who wasn't affected by an onion. But I think, Rob, you brought up something there, which is that Rob is always affected by criticism. I don't know if you saw the episodes. There was a challenge where they sort of had to say what they really felt about. I don't know. There was like questions like, who is the fakest person in the house? And Kendall was like, Rob. And Rob was so mad. And he was like, he basically was like, they had to have a sit down. He's like, why'd you say it? And Kendall's like, it was just a challenge. He's like, no, man, but like, I'm not fake. Da, 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 da. I think he has a very fragile ego. I think he likes bringing women close and then pushing them away. I think he likes playing mind games with them like that. I think he likes punishing them, not mean punishing, like scolding them, but I think he likes making them feel like they did something wrong and that he's a gentle soul who's been injured. And it's all part of his manipulation. But he's hot.
Yeah, that's how he gets everything, is by looking completely sad about everything and very sensitive. And then everybody falls for it, including me, who's like writing fan mail. I'm like, I love you. Stop crying. Call me. Okay, so then Aaron takes Kaylor aside again, which, like, literally, I laugh every single time this happens. They go to the dock. Yeah. And he's like, well, I just want you to apologize again because I really didn't mean anything. But, here's the reason I wanted to do it, because I wanted to. And so finally she accepts that as like an excuse, which is totally crazy. I mean, just a court of law, people, a court of law. You know, why did you murder that person? Because at the time I wanted to. You know what, Ronnie? You're
Ronnie,
forgiven.
you're entitled.
Case dismissed. Best reason I've ever heard. You felt like it.
You know, now that you put it that way, I can see your point. So who am I to get in the way of what you really wanted?
I died.
Yeah, that was ridiculous. And so he comes in. Now he's doing the charm attack thing. And he's being all giggly. He's doing his giggly thing. He's not really very contrite. He's like, it's like, I just hit, da, 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 da. And of course, she's like, oh, he's trying to speak to me. And then he talks to her again a little bit later. And he's like, I got a gift for you. And he basically takes that little necklace that he's been wearing and he like puts like a moon on it or something and gives it to her.
It's a seashell. It's a fucking seashell he found on the ground. It's like taking a booger out, drying it, and shaping it into something and putting it on a string. It's like, oh my God, I love your booger that you gave me. That's like the sweetest thing. Like, why can't I stay mad at you?
And she, by the way, she's also really bad at like being mad because he's like, I know you want your space. She goes, no, why would I want my space right now? Like, that's what you don't say to someone when they're crying. I'm like, girl,
You giving me space means you're not making an effort. That's what that means. Like, you just don't want to make the effort.
Yeah, he's like, I'm going to give you your space while like I'll hold Rob's hand in the corner and watch him make up song lyrics in his head.
Why do you want effort from this guy who's totally shitty for you? To you, you don't want that effort. That's bad effort. Okay, that's like getting spam phone calls.
Yeah. So then Rob and Danielle, she forgives him, basically, is the thing. It's like, I got a seashell. So she forgives him. So then Daniela comes to apologize to Rob, which is also hilarious because Daniela did nothing fucking wrong.
Nothing wrong. And he,
again.
Yeah, nothing wrong.
Like, here we go again with Rob getting an apology from someone who literally, it was so frustrating. So she comes, she apologizes, and he like forgives her, which she did nothing wrong. I cannot stress enough how she literally did nothing and is now being totally treated like shit and slut shamed on TV. And you know, people are being mean to her online. I haven't seen it, but just because everybody's so nice to Rob, it makes me fucking crazy. Okay. So she apologizes. Then he forgives her out of the kindness of his heart. So then she goes, appreciate you. And he goes, no, I appreciate you. And she goes, no, I appreciate you more. And he goes, probably. And then just stares at her dead serious. I had to rewind that because I was like, did that just happen? Yep.
I really am astounded that we've gotten to a place on the show that Miguel is my favorite man. Like I can't believe it. And in fact, I thought the scenes with Miguel and Leah.
Don't fall for Miguel either. Oh my God.
Well, I mean, these are my options.
So cute though.
These are my options. But true. You know, at the end of the last,
it's also
episode,
your prerogative. So why don't I just shut the fuck up?
Thank you, Bobby Brown. But slash Britney Spears
it's cover. My prerogative.
Everybody's talking. Boom. All these things about me. Boom, boom. Why can't they just let me live?
Everybody.
So, last episode, you brought up something that we both sort of had we both did not like a note that was a tone that he had, which was like, Miguel was like, you know, I've never dated a girl who's talked like that and it's not appealing to me. And we're like, oh, shush, like you don't get to tell a woman how to whatever. But this episode, actually, he talked about how he grew up in a household where there was sounds like a lot of fighting and yelling. And I was like, okay, I actually kind of, I get that. It's like, it's a little traumatic for him. And I was like, that was actually kind of, maybe I'm falling for it, but I thought it was actually kind of emotionally vulnerable, dare I say, that he kind of was like, let us into that. Like that there was just more to Miguel than just Miguel being Miguel. Like it's just, I don't know. I find him that he is growing in a better way as opposed to the other guys who are just getting worse and worse and worse.
You know, look, I'm not a hater. First of all, he's adorable. And I'm sorry to quantify everything like that. Like, I forgive them because they're cute. I kind of do, though. Like, he's so cute. Even though I hate his mustache shaving. I don't understand everybody shaving their mustache like it's like a tiny line around there. I just don't. It's a trend I don't get yet.
It's the eye tattoos on his, like, on the exterior of his pecs that drive me nuts.
Oh God, I haven't even noticed those. I don't think. How have I not
You won't-
noticed those? You know
you
whose
won't be
tattoo
able
is
to
terrible
unsee
is
it.
Kane. Why does Kane look like he has a slit throat? Who does that to themselves?
Like it's not a good tattoo, and if you're gonna do that tattoo, don't do it in red.
yeah,
Please.
it looks
you
like
have a
someone
zipper.
slit his throat using like a really jagged edge. It's terrible. Okay, so anyway, Miguel, here's the reason I couldn't totally fall for that because he was trying to avoid getting in trouble for his clips during movie night, which were I don't know, whatever
I
his
don't know, I didn't
makeout
feel
stuff
that
was.
way.
And he was like, I don't feel guilty, which was his thing, which I don't know, because if you don't feel guilty, then why are you making so many jokes? Because that's how,
He did adopt these really funny accents. I don't know. You know what? To be
yeah,
honest,
he got this real weird accent. He was like, "Well, I do to kill."
well, because it's uncomfortable. Well, because you didn't like the way he looked. That was the funniest part of it all. He didn't give a shit that they showed him making out with
He just didn't
Sierra.
like the
He was just
angle.
like, the angle. Why are you doing the angle? Could you leave the angle on me? Oh, I'm so embarrassed I have to do a strange Cockney accent. And they were like, why are you doing that accent, Miguel? He's like, 'cause the angle. The angle
well-
was so bad.
For the most part, I agree with you. I don't like have any. I'm not like a hater of Miguel. I think he's still really cute. I still really like him. I still am kind of bothered by his like. I don't like a woman who talks like that, even if it's because it was at home. Because I just feel like so no one can ever show anger. Then don't do things that piss people off. You know what I mean? Like,
Well, that's fair too. But you know what it was? It's more like I think we were both anticipating that he was going to use that as an excuse to like drop Leah and continue being a fuckboy. And so he went and had a conversation with her and was like, normally in the real world, I would probably just ghost you, but we're not like we're here, and I feel like you're making efforts to like you're acknowledging it, and I don't know, like I felt like it was.
you're right, but
It was-
he also
he-
had
I-
no
it was
other
more-
options really. So I was like,
That's true. Well, but yeah, I mean, there's always Dea.
well, that's true. Day is gorgeous.
So mad. I'm so mad. She is gorgeous, but she
Yeah.
has no personality. But yeah, I just either way, it's like he surprised me. And by the way, the way that I'm so glad that he was just laughing off his clip because like why is this shocking that he made out with Sierra? He literally brought her back. It's not like not like he was there. It's like I was a good boy and came back to you. He came back with Sierra. He's like, yeah, I like Sierra.
Yeah. And he didn't really have like as deep of a relationship with anybody, so it wasn't
No.
as hurtful that he
Leah
was
doesn't
making out or
care.
whatever. So let's see here. So now Ariana comes back. She's back. It's Ariana Maddox. So Ariana is really turning into like laser-eyed robot, and like she's really getting into this role where she's just like, "Da-na-na-na-na, are you ready for a recoupling?" I was like, yes. Is she gonna start like tearing apart the set with her laser eyes? I'm into
She
it. I
should.
don't know where this side of this lady came from, but
Yeah,
I'm
think it's gonna
into
be
it.
Weird. I think it's gonna be a little weird for her to go back to Vanderpump Rules because I feel like on this show she's sort of like an authority figure, and I feel like Ariana's stardom has kind of gone to the next tier where, like, to see her go back to a show where she's just sort of in like these, with people still struggling in the valley. I don't know. It feels. I don't know. It'll be a weird transition, but
I think she's going to be a totally different person because I don't think this is all faked. I think this like level of confidence and just how she's carrying herself and how she's looking at people, like she's looking at people more in the eye. I don't know if you've noticed that because one of Ariana's traits, just personality traits, is that she kind of looks away when she talks to you. Like she'll be in a conversation. She's always kind of looking around, like she doesn't maintain eye contact. And it's not that there's anything wrong with that. It's just one of her tics. It's one of her.
It's like I have that
personalities.
Too. I want to have better eye contact with people.
Yeah,
I
but it's
literally
just one
looked
of
away
her
as I said
things.
that. I was looking at my coffee. I was looking at my coffee to pick it up.
It's normal, but she has like a very specific way of like talking and then like looking over. And anyway, she still does it a little in this, but like. I'm just trying to say the way she's changing, like you can see physical changes of like how she's like looking at people more confidently and like,
Yeah.
she
I don't know
really
how
does.
she's-
Like, I wouldn't be surprised if lasers came out of her eyes and started like splitting people in two, like on The Boys.
I just don't understand how she's so calm because she's a super fan. She's like, the reason why she got this gig is because she talked about how being like loving watching Love Island on the show. So like during all these things, how she can just be so relaxed and not be like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. It's shocking, but she's doing a great job as the host. Like she's so at ease in this role. And she comes in, they do a recoupling. And really, everyone couples up the way we kind of expect. You know, all the dust has settled. Cordell and Serena are back together. They're closed off. They're back to being like cute and wonderful in the way that we like them the most. Janae is back with Kenny. Kenny has like a really good speech because he said it from the heart. And, you know, basically the Casa girls, except for Sierra. Sarah and Kane have come together. But Catherine and Dea go. And then it comes down to basically Rob choosing between Liv and Daniela. And there was a part of me that thought that Rob he does this whole speech about like, this girl, I really like her. She's really nice. She's sweet. She's really pretty. We have a great connection. And the more I talk to her, the more I like her. So I think I keep her. And so I was like, is he going to do a weird thing where he keeps Liv and kick Daniela to the curb? Did you think that for a second, Ronnie?
I did. Well, first of all, these speeches were 20 minutes, which cracked me up. I'm like, how are they getting these people to talk so long? Because literally none of them can like make 2 sentences together. But somehow they got them to each make a 20-minute monologue, which was amazing.
And they have to still be ambiguous too.
Yeah. I was like, this is especially Kenny's, because Kenny, like, they were literally handing Kenny a Pulitzer Prize by the end of his. And I was like, what did he even say?
Yeah, I thought it was like generic. It was fine.
They were like, Kenny, that was amazing, Kenny. They're like, they're all crying. Kenny was like, well, I just want to say that this girl is like sun in my cornflakes and like flowers growing in puddles and like clouds. I'm like, oh my God, Kenny, you're like the next T.S. Eliot. I can't believe you just said that.
When I see her coming down the staircase, all I see are beauty and stairs. And then I stare at the stairs. And I think, is that why they're called stairs?
This girl can build couches. Oh my God, that was beautiful. So, yeah, anyway, I'm sorry, I changed the conversation. But yeah, I was almost tricked, but he said something like, but I have to send like someone amazing that everybody loves home.
Kayla's face starts. Kayla's face fully like crumples into her mouth. Like it's like all the features of her face somehow wind up in her mouth. She's like, so sad.
How did you do this to me? And then they all just started sobbing. And I was like, do they murder the people when they take them off?
Yeah,
Is she going to be turned into compost? Like, what are they doing to these people when they drag them away? It's like the end of their life. You know, it's like there's only 5 of you that can live. The rest of you are going to die. And it's like, we're sending Liv off to, you know, single death. She's going to die an old spinster and we're turning her into fucking Soylent Green, you know?
They gave Liv a very big send-off because she is like a fan favorite. Everyone loves her. Everyone loves her in the house. I think everyone loves her in the audience. So she got a really nice send-off. She was great. I'm like really bummed that she's leaving. So we watch her leave.
Well, it's like, but it's also like they're sending home the head of HR. Doesn't it feel like that when they sent Liv? I was like, I really am going to miss her.
Deb retired.
But at least I don't have to ask her for the key to the bathroom anymore. You know what I mean?
She's like, you know, growing up, I never had sisters, and I always wanted to have sisters. And now I finally find out what it's like to have a sister. And it turns out that when you have a sister, all you do is talk about the boys that were bad to them. And they never ask you a question about yourself. I love you guys so much. I love you.
Sisters. So then they play every horror music sound, like the boom and the like, and it's Ariana. She's back again with her laser eyes. And it's because
wait, hold on. So when she comes back in, they're not expecting it, and someone goes, oh God, it's Ariana. She's smiling right now. And someone goes, she always smiles. Beware, Ariana.
I like that they're like now terrified of her because she really is taking on that role. I mean, from the first episode to now, I think she's totally different. She's terrifying me. She's like, hi, everybody. Are you happy to see me? I was like, Jesus, back away, back off, lady. So then they, whatever. So she announces someone new is here. And then this hot jackass, this guy, what an absolute douche. So you know this guy because you watched last season. What's this guy like?
So I didn't watch last season of Love Island USA. It's, No, I didn't watch actually any of last season because honestly, Sarah Hyland was very difficult to watch as a hostess. Like she would come on with her perm and like, "Hey guys," and I was like, I can't. And also, like I'd watched some of season 4, but also like last season's Love Island UK was really good, so that was just taking my attention. I just didn't think it was possible. It's really hard to watch 2 Love Islands simultaneously.
Oh my
and-
God! No one needs your excuses. Okay,
Yeah,
I'm not
so it's-
sitting here waiting for your fucking excuses. I was expecting to be educated today on
No, I don't know
Graham, the
this
gold
guy.
and silver dealer, or whatever the hell he is.
Harrison.
Harrison.
And I don't know, but he's like very Sons of Anarchy.
Yes, and I love Jax from Sons of Anarchy. I saw him at Whole Good once, and I literally dropped Bueller's Leash.
He
'Cause
goes.
he was coming out, and I was going in, and I dropped Bueller's Leash. I was like,
Yeah, he he goes to the Bagel Broker a lot. They know him by
he
name.
eats bagels.
Yeah, I was in there. He came in. They were like Charlie, and I was like, wow,
Charlie
And then,
Hunnam.
yeah, and he also he used to go to my gym and see him there. He's just like.
God
He's like
damn, I love
around.
him.
He's like, you know what's funny about Charlie Hunnam? He's really hot, but he's really accessible. And the fact that he's just like around, you just sort of see him around Hollywood. It's amazing.
Yeah. Does he still
So
work?
good.
God, I love him. Okay, so anyway, this guy who looks like Charlie Hunnam comes in, and his name is something. And then from the back, he's got like blonde Karen hair, kind of. And I was like, who's this? And then it's this really hot guy. And they're like, he's from season 5. He's a gold and diamond dealer. And he's like, I've got my head on tighter than most boys out there. Like, what?
The cliffhanger is that by tomorrow, in 24 hours, the game is going to change, which means that he's going to steal someone and then, it'll be catastrophic, etc. So that's what we have to look forward to. I think, do we have tonight? Tonight may be Unseen Bits. I'm not sure. But it'll happen over the weekend at the very least. And wow, it's been such a tumultuous week. It's hard. At this point going forward, it's hard because after all the dust settles with Casa Moore, it kind of makes the couple stronger than ever. And so it's really hard for bombshells to come in and be impactful from here to the end of the show. But we're going to see what happens.
Well, I guess we sure will, won't we? Hey, Ben, remember how we were like, we should do 10-minute recaps every day of Love Island?
40 minutes later.
All right, everybody. Thanks so much for being here. We will talk to you next time, next week, next episode.
Watch What Crappens would like to thank its premium sponsors. Ain't no thing like Allison King.
Ashley Savoni, she don't take no baloney.
Stroll in the park with Caitlin Clark.
She's not just a Sheila, she's a Daniela. Itchels. Aaron McNicholas, she don't miss no trickolas. She's never scary, it's the Green Fairy. Jamie, she has no last namey.
Hava Nagila Weber. Know your worth with Jason Kurth.
Sipped some scotch with Jessica Trotch.
She's always supplying, it's Kelly Ryan.
Kristen the Piston Anderson. Let's give a kisserino to Lisa Lino. We want to hang with Liz Lang. Megan Berg. You can't have a burger without the Berg.
The Bay Area Betches.
And our super premium sponsors.
Somebody get us 10 cc's of Betsy MD.
We're taking the gold with Brenda Silva.
Let's get real with Caitlin O'Neill.
Don't get salty with Christine Pepper. Can't have a meal without the Emily Sides.
Nobody holds a candle to Jamie Kendall. We got our wish, it's Jen Plish. She's not harsh, she's Jill Hirsch. She's a little bit loony. Junie. My favorite Murdo, Karen McMurdo. We love him madly, it's Kyle Pod Shadley.
Let's go on a bender with Lauren Fender. The incredible edible Matthews sisters.
Give him hell, Miss Noel. Ring that bell for Rachel. She's the queen bee, it's Sarah Lemke. Shannon, out of a cannon, Anthony. Let's take off with Tamla Plain.
She ain't no shrinking Violet Kuchar. We love you guys.